All right, we are back live. Welcome back to Insights from Philly, part two with Irving
Part two.
Fryar. His story was so big we couldn't get it into one episode. Well, actually, what happened was we had a technical glitch of some sort, and in any event, where we left off was I was telling the audience that while obviously it was horrible that you were wrongly incarcerated, at least something wonderful came out of that. And tell us about that, please.
Well, yeah, if I was never incarcerated, all of this story that I'm getting ready to tell you never would have happened. So, about a week before the sentencing, I was convicted, and then they sentenced you a month later. About a week before the sentencing, I got a phone call from one of my elders in the church asking me did I have my affairs in order, and I had no idea what she was talking about. I'd never been through a trial and all that kind of stuff before. I'd never been to prison. So she was saying, well, if you get sentenced, you're going straight to prison. You're going to jail from there. You're not going back home. You're going from the courtroom to jail. So you got to get your affairs in order. Have someone to take care of all your business. So I had the divorce was going on, the case was going on. I had all the business at the church happening, all my emails, my apartment I was staying in, my bills, bank account, all that stuff. Someone needed to look out for me, look after for me. My wife couldn't do it because she was divorcing me. Um, my mother couldn't do it because she was going through the whole scenario that I was going through. My oldest sister, who was with me and very close to me, lived close to me, she was there, but she couldn't take care of my affairs because her job just wouldn't allow her to do that. She gets monitored during the day. So there's a girl named Serena, lady named Serena, who was the church financial director at the time. And my sister Faith, she said, why don't you ask Serena to do it? So I asked, long story short, I asked Serena if she would take care of my stuff, handle my stuff, watch out for my apartment, handle my bills. Here's all my emails. Here's all my passwords. Here's all the stuff for the divorce. Here's all the stuff for my criminal case. Can you take care of this stuff for me if I go to prison? She said yes. Long story short, Serena took it over. Visiting days on in prison were on Saturdays and Sundays. Every Saturday, I was in prison for 8 months. Every Saturday, Serena would pick up my mother and pick up my sister and bring them to the prison, and I would visit with the three of them, and she would take them back home. Then on Sunday, every Sunday for 8 months, every Sunday that I was in prison, Serena would come to the prison, and we would visit and talk about what was going on. What was happening with the case, what was happening with the divorce, what was happening, bank accounts, apartment, bills, all that kind of stuff. After about 5 months of that, our conversations changed a little bit. And I ended up being released on June 6th, 2016. And I married Serena on September 8th, 2016. So,
Wow.
yeah, she,
3 months
I
later.
mean, when I was at my worst, when I was at my worst, uh, she jumped in my situation and refused to leave me by myself. She refused to have me go at it and try to face all this stuff and fix all this stuff by myself. She got in the middle of it with me, and man, she's my ride or die. She's my ride or die. Matter of fact, not ride or die. She drives while I shoot, and when she's tired of driving, I'll drive while she shoots. But that's my girl. It's my wife. We've been married now. It'll be 4 years on September 8th.
That's a beautiful story, Herb. I mean, just
Yeah.
like the fact that she was driving there twice, it wasn't around the corner. We're not
No,
talking
no,
about.
no. It's about a 45-minute drive from. I mean, well, she had to leave her place and then go pick my mother up. My sister would always go to my mother's house. She picked both of them up at my mother's house and then take them to the prison, and we'd all visit, and she'd take them back home. But
She
she
spent
did it.
3 hours on the road every
Yeah, she did
weekend
it
just to see you.
every Saturday and every Sunday. And there were times when I would tell her, "Don't come up here," and she refused. She refused. She said, "I'm coming. This is what we do. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to get through this." So yes,
That's
uh,
beautiful, man.
I'm
Cheers
married
to
to
both
her.
of you, and God bless her because that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so she saw the essence of you because that's why she did it, and like I see that, and it was easy to always see that. So I got
But yeah, she saw the real me. She saw all of me. There was nothing left for her to see.
right.
So she knew what she was getting into, as vulnerable as I was and as naked as I was, not literally, but my life was an open book to her. So she could see the reality of my life, and that my life was, it wasn't what people were accusing me of or were saying.
So a lot of people, I mean, we're in this pandemic right now. We're quarantined. We've been quarantined for quite a while now. This is unprecedented times that we're in. Tell our audience, tell the world, like, give us a message of some sort to help everybody out. What do you say to everybody?
Well, I think, and I can't speak for everybody because everybody doesn't see life the way I see life. Everybody doesn't see life the same way. But I think the reality of what's happening with all of us, because everybody, there's no one that is beyond this pandemic. There's no one on this earth who is not being affected by this coronavirus in one way or another. But what we're realizing is how valuable life is, how important relationships are, how big just to be healthy and to have a roof over your head, how significant that is in our lives, to have food on your table, to have the essential needs met in your life. We're realizing how valuable that is. The things that we normally take for granted, family and friends and relationships, we kind of just go along and think that things are hunky-dory and it's supposed to be this way and everything's going to be all right. But now we're realizing these things that we take for granted on a daily basis, they're really, really important. So my message to anybody who may be watching is just that. Take care of yourselves and take care of the ones around you, because at some point, all of us are going to be gone. At some point, all of us are going to die. I don't know anybody who's lived forever. All of us are going to die, and we have to stop living like we're not going to die. Relationships are important. Take care of yourself and love yourself and appreciate the little things that we take for granted. Food on our tables, roof over our heads, clothes on our backs, the ability to have a reasonable portion of health. Those things we take for granted.
What one word could you give to people, like, that might help some people out, and what you kind of stand by? What's your word?
Well, we talked about this the other day. It's hope. Hope, the word hope, H-O-P-E. You got it. Hope is an expectation that things are going to get better. And if you lose hope, then progress ceases. If you lose hope, then everything else stops. So you have to believe inside. Some people call it faith, but faith is the substance of things that we hope for. So we have to keep hope alive. I know that sounds cliche-ish, but it is a reality, and it's a true statement. We have to keep hope alive. You have to believe that things are going to get better. Otherwise, we don't have a reason to wake up in the morning and to get out of the bed. So keep hope. You got to have hope.
I second that.
Yeah.
I love the word hope. I've been doing a meditation with the Deepak Chopra and Oprah Winfrey. It's a 21-day free thing. You can check it out on their website, but it's all about hope. So for the last, really, it's 21 days, but I'm kind of like doing it again. So I'm through it. So I'm like 28 days in a row of just hope. It's awesome. And I'm right there with you on the hope thing. Let's leave it out on, I've been asking the guests recently, give me 3 quintessential things in no order that when Irving Fryar thinks of Philly, what does he think of?
Why you going? Why you
putting the pressure on you?
Yeah. Why are you going to do me like that?
Come on, man. It shouldn't be that difficult.
I have some good memories and I have some bad memories.
I'm not talking about memories. What does Philly?
Well, first of all, when you talk about hope, I mean that's Philly's tough. Philly's a place where tough people, fighters live. I mean, we got Rocky Balboa, we got
right, Joe Frazier, right?
Joe Frazier got
Bernard Hopkins, right?
Bernard, Hopkins. So we're tough. Philadelphia is tough.
All right. That's good. That's one. All right.
And with that toughness lies perseverance. So we're tough over time. Philly is that's just the way we are. That's
All right.
just the way we are. And what's another thing I can come up with here? I let's leave it at that. We're tough and we stay tough over time. We're going to persevere. We're going to hang in there. When the chips fall, Philly's still going to be standing. When the rubber meets the road, folk from Philly will still be there.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. We might have to have you back to, hear the full story of everything. But in the meantime, stay healthy, and I'm gonna leave it on that note. So we're gonna end the broadcast and tune in next time for some more special guests.
Thanks, Craig.
Thank you, man.
All
So.
right.